Hello, this is Russell from
Tones of Evil.
and you're listening to Capes and Lunatics.
This episode of Capes and Lunatics is brought to you by Tweaked Audio. Get awesome headphones, go to tweakedaudio.com and use the coupon code Southgate to get 30% off, free shipping, and a lifetime warranty. Or you can get there through the link on our website, southgatemediagroup.com.
This is Luca Perich, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
It gets bigger every day.
I know. Anyway, welcome back to the Capes and Lunatics, episode 204. I am Phil. Joining me as always, the traveling stash in New Jersey. It is
Charlie, the Professor Essa, here to sell you some snake oil.
and that hit millennial who's too cool for dad jokes. It is.
Hey y'all, it's Lil Papa. I'm not too cool for dad jokes.
Too cool for school. School is dad.
It's just too school for outer layers of flesh.
Whoa.
Exactly. I just want off this mortal coil, that's all.
Don't we all?
What you drink like it?
Speaking of which,
Stop the mortal coil. I want to get off.
All right, well,
it's just a monster. Don't.
I guess we can break the biggest earth-shattering news in honor of something big that's happening this weekend. But yeah, they announced that on July 7th, we're getting a new Moon Knight book by Jed MacKay, the writer of Black Cat and Taskmaster.
Ooh.
Do I look like my name is Ray Ray?
Oh.
Do I care? I'm kidding. I'm very excited for the Moon Knight fandom.
I will say this. I liked Taskmaster and I liked Black Cat. So
Loved Black Cat.
So, my question is just randomly, they're like, oh yeah, there's a series coming someday, so we're going to throw out a series, or are we going to get some kind of Moon Knight news between now and July 7th? Like
I don't know.
Maybe a premiere date, something.
I mean, there might be something. I mean, there's always going to be something. And here's what I'll tell you. If the Moon Knight book gets a lot of hype, then they might start to hype the series more. You know, it's sort of the tail wagging the dog kind of thing. You know, they put JR on it, who is a very controversial artist among people, you know. I like him, but that is not a uniform opinion.
John Romita, I mean, it might work. I like his street level stuff, like his Spider-Man, his Daredevil. I don't know. It's just sometimes when he does like Superman or Thor, I don't know. Sometimes I'm like, I don't know if this is my cup of tea. But yeah, I love his street level stuff, so I think it might work on Moon Knight.
I think his biggest thing, he's, you know, as I always say, he needs a really good inker. And I don't think they've been inking him well lately, but, you know, he's got very, he's got a style. It can look a little stiff, I won't lie, but at the same time, you know, I think a lot of times it's a stiffness that comes from drawing the physics of superpowers. You know, like, for example, his flight is very, very interesting how he draws flight, because he seems to draw flight sort of pinned to a spot in space, that there's no thrust, but then, you know, obviously, why should there be thrust when you're flying?
No.
If you're flying through magical means, you know, it's
if there's no thrust when you're flying, I don't think you're doing it right. Am I right, ladies? Sorry, I'll show myself out.
It's okay. No, yeah. Speaking of dad jokes,
Whoa, that's a mama joke.
no, I'm just saying. You know, I've always felt that, and it's sort of like I go into this idea in my head that he's like very much into the physics of superpowers and how physics work in these certain environments. That you know, I feel like his vision of flight is that it's not, you know, it's not that, you know, when you're flying, there's some energy source coming off you. It's just sort of like you're willing yourself to exist in a different spot.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's, you know, it's an interesting thing when they're discussing flight on Invincible. They touch onto a very similar idea. The idea that, you know, for most beings, when they're flying, there's some kind of, they're pushing on the air, but when you're
like you just don't
a superhero flying, it's like you're standing on it.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of feel like that's sort of where JR sees flight. So just something I've noticed about his drawing over the years, and that's sort of a take I take away from it.
And yeah, I just thought I mentioned that because I like Moon Knight. And two, should be sometime, the same week this hits our podcast, Into the Night's hitting its 200th episode. I will be on there with a few other people to play the...
Catch up, slacker!
Oh! I think he's starting to put it out twice a week, so he might pass us, but...
he's pulling the old Spider-Man routine, eh?
He has a... Whoa, he's pulling what? But he has a couple of us playing a game show for, so there's certain listeners can win prizes, and we're each playing for a different person, so...
Nice. He's so fancy.
Yes, he is. He's a fancy man.
Oh, I think he's planning like music and sound effects. I'm like, well, if you need me to run it through the old soundboard, let me know. So yes, kids, tune in to Into the Night 200. It should be quite the production.
Looking forward to it.
Thought I'd give him the old shout out because, always a good show over there.
It was just a really nice package.
Anyway.
He's married, so moving on.
When he gives me his bone.
I don't know what's
I
going on.
don't know what that's a reference to.
It's a Green Lantern thing. Oh, this week was it this? Yeah, this week was First Contact Day.
Yep.
Oh yeah, when in the Mirror Universe,
Zephram
Cochrane shot the Vulcans, stole their tech.
Here he just got them drunk and introduced them to music. Oh.
Yeah, which is probably far more detrimental to the Vulcan species, quite frankly. Get infected with that human virus, as they say.
It's root beer. It's all root beer.
It's all root beer.
To quote freaking a Ferengi, my favorite persuasion.
I tell you, there's got to be like Star Trek conspiracy theorists on other planets. Like, yeah, man, they get in your brain with the root beer. Don't drink the root beer, man. The bubbles, they go into your brain and they make you think it's okay.
But I mean,
nothing they do is okay.
I mean, they had little teasers and stuff. I think they did something for season 4 Discovery and stuff. But
season 2 Picard trailer.
I was gonna say,
yes.
Was that a full trailer? That seemed like a teaser, didn't it?
Well, teaser trailer.
Yeah, but yeah,
it's
so season 2's coming.
They gave us what we wanted.
Season 2, 2022. It looks like we're getting Q.
We're getting a buddy cop.
Jeez.
Well,
we're getting a buddy cop story with Picard and Q cruising the galaxy. It's going to be a road picture. It's going to be Q and Picard on the road to oblivion. We're on the road to oblivion.
I think they just wanted to get the thing up.
Certainly do get around. Sorry.
I think they just wanted to get the thing up and running before they spent the John Delancey money, right? Right?
Yeah. Well, I think. Well, honestly, I think they just wanted to make sure that neither of their stars died of the COVID before they got into production.
It's always look on the bright side.
Not to be rude about it, but it's like we do have a lot of great Treks are in the danger zone, but they have both publicly gotten their vaccinations. So, yay! Yes, but I'm very excited about that because clearly Q is back. And, the trial never ends, which lets us know. And you know what they're going to do? They're going to flashpoint it all. They're just going to have Q taking Picard through all the universes.
Well, to be fair, for at least John Delaney, they do have his son who did actually play his actual son
Q's
in Star
son,
Trek
yeah.
that looks very much like him. So if anything, I'm just saying we got to back up on the Delaney thing.
Thing. Delancey.
I was
Dana Delaney,
it just rolls off
John
the tongue
Delancey.
better.
I know, but
so speaking of Voyager, is Picard going to be like, I thought you loved me. Why were you all macking on Janeway?
He's after Cisco punched me in the face and told me never to show up again, I needed a little tender love and care from Janeway.
And he'd already coded himself as male, and had he known that was his reaction to females, he would have appeared as a woman. So annoying, but it's like, now I'm already in this form, and I have to work with your puny human brain. Human brains.
The worst.
It's meat that thinks.
Hell.
Right, love. Oh, but
I'm gonna need that drop, Philip. I'm gonna need that drop.
Okay. Neat that things. But did you see the other teaser, Charlie Esser? I guess they're I don't know if LeVar Burton was doing like a I don't know, like one of his little videos for somebody, but he was wearing a shirt that it was a Lower Deck shirt, and it said something like I partied with the crew of like Star Trek Lower Decks or whatever, and someone's like, "Oh, is he going to be on the? Is he going to?
He might direct. That's his thing, honestly."
Yeah. But animation, they're like, "Oh, is he going to do a voice?"
Yeah, well,
I mean, we had Riker already, and they're like, "Oh."
I'm sure they're all going to get. That's the great thing about
animation.
Animation is you can literally phone it in. It's
and it doesn't matter what you look like. Yeah.
Exactly. So we'll get.
Yeah, because the picture I saw, he had like a white beard and stuff. I'm like, oh.
Yes, but I would love to see Geordie LaForge back.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's nowhere near the engineer that Miles O'Brien is, of course. But
the greatest.
I like my engineers with a little less suffering. I'm just saying, just a smidge less suffering.
I know, but we all know that the greatest Starfleet officer ever was Miles O'Brien. Although he's not an officer. That is a mistake. He's a chief. He may have stripes up and down his thing, but he's not an officer. Don't you call him sir? He'll punch you if you call him sir. He's a chief. Thank you very much.
Well, did you see that thing online? They said, like, he told, during Deep Space Nine, I guess he told, like, the costume people, he's like, yeah, I need, like, a uniform where I can, like, roll up the sleeves. He's like, because, he's not a commission man, he's going to roll up his sleeves, get his hands dirty,
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he's the chief engineer, and it's a great thing for him, and it's just great.
I could talk about this all day. How I was like so annoyed that they paired him up with Julian. When in all honesty, Sisko's an engineer too. He likes to fix stuff too. And in the first two seasons, they were kind of going the bestie route. They're like, oh, we can't give Julian Dax, so we got to give him somebody, and we don't like Keiko, so here you go. Yeah, but pair your spares.
Yeah, but it just seems like a lot of those Star Trek series, I mean, especially like Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, even Voyager, like first couple seasons, it seems like they like to keep those captains like separate from like the rest of the crew.
And it's classic odd couple pairing. You got to put the scruffy one with the fastidious one, and it's like
I said, pair your spares. I get it.
And honestly, it gave us so much good fan.
It's like him and Julian, and then Quark and Odo. Two best friendships in Star Trek. Yeah. # fight me. I don't care.
How dare you, Data and Geordi? How about Tom?
No!
Tom
Quark and Odo is the greatest friendship in all of Star Trek franchise. I don't care.
Tom Paris and Harry Kim listen to their podcast.
Okay, that's like a third. They're like third.
There's a lot of good friendships in Star Trek, I think we can all agree on that. I just want to show up on Lower Decks. Admiral Sulu. He's 800 years old. But he still looks like he's 22.
Fabulous!
Hey, they put Picard in our android body. Why not Sulu?
He was the first one to adopt an android body. What do you mean?
Exactly.
Wait, Picard's in an android body now?
Yeah, you didn't watch the end of season
No.
1?
Pulling the old Lex Luthor / Dr. Doom /
So he's dead, and now he lives on as a simulation of Picard in a robot body.
Yeah,
he's a
Justice for synths, baby. Yeah. Justice for synths.
Yeah, but it's kind of pointless because it's not like a Data body. It doesn't have like super strength. They are like, oh yeah, it's gonna simulate a normal human lifespan. So.
Boo! What's the point?
Exactly. If you're gonna be in an android body, why do you want a normal lifespan?
Well, androids want to be human.
Like,
I get it.
It's also you get to still be old. So there's that.
Well, they could easily fix
Somebody
it.
get Tom Hardy on the line.
They could easily fix that. I mean, Q could just snap him back to his body.
Well, yeah, and they probably, or in fact, I will guarantee you, now that I know that, I think I've heard that before, but yeah, I don't, who has time? I guarantee you that's going to be like, oh, you're the puppet that thinks you're Picard. Oh. It's a pleasure to meet you. And it's gonna be about Picard trying to prove himself to Q, and it's gonna be a buddy cop drama. They're gonna be cruising the galaxy in the Delta Flyer or something,
Oh my!
Yeah.
What if he's gonna be thrown out of the continuum again?
Yeah.
What if they banish him again and take his powers? That's why he appears older.
Well, but that's I don't even. That's the thing. I always get the feeling like that whole Q continuum thing. That's like just for our benefit.
Well, I mean,
it's like if you guys could comprehend what we are.
Oh yeah, remember?
You wouldn't really understand it. You still wouldn't be able to comprehend it.
It kind of showed the inside of it on Voyager. Remember they were like fighting the Civil War and stuff, and it's just like, oh yeah, this is just
it appeared, because they were having. But that's the thing. I have a feeling that all the Q are the Q. Mm-hmm. All the Q are the same Q, but it's sort of like my Beyonder theory, which is like they're all just this one thing, but that they are all different aspects of the same thing. So, and that's why it was such a big deal when, we're going to create a new Q, a Q is going to leave, because it's all part of them, and it's all them. They're all experiencing all the things all the time. It's such a BA. So, the idea that, everything that Q does, the Q are doing, it's the Q. It's a Q thing. Anyway, but I mean, I'm happy to have Q back. We all love Q. Q came back on Lower Decks already, so. And he was, come on, no one wants to play with me anymore.
I haven't watched it since episode 3.
It's fantastic. They got the new season coming. I'm very excited about it. Boimler is.
You were kind of iffy on it the first season.
I had some iffiness in their characterizations because they went way too Mary Sue with the female character. They just made her like she's just great at everything, and it's like and even where they had a moment to show where her flaws were, with in contrast to Boimler, they kind of screwed it up on like the 3rd episode. But they later did redeem themselves, and they really did show that Boimler actually did have a lot of strengths.
I think they were just exploring their territory. Because again, I mean, this is pretty. I mean, isn't this like the first like humorous Star Trek series?
Yeah, and I get that, but they very much made she's a young Kirk, and Kirk is great as an old Kirk. It's like when you get like your. Whatever that those movies were like, hey, I never actually graduated the academy, but now I'm captain. Call me Kirk. It's a little pushy, when Kirk does it, and so it's. I kind of feel like it had that vibe, which was not a very popular vibe, but they resolved it, and they actually gave everybody a great arc by the end of the season. So I was very pleased by how it all came around. Really turned me around, and it's a really enjoyable show. It's got a lot of silly humor, but also is very much grounded in a reality-based idea of what the Starfleet universe might be.
But
and I also just love the idea that everyone has bunks. That if you're not like bridge crew, you're just down in the lower decks, and it's just like bunk beds. For all the Starfleet Academy graduates, for all the non-coms,
But now, speaking of Kirk, Steel City Con, I guess, is going to happen finally in June, and I guess Shatner's on the schedule. So I'm like, man, he's 90, man. I'm like, what?
Did he get his shot?
I would assume. I mean, if he's gonna be around that.
Look, listen. No offense. You can't assume anything with Willie Shat. All right.
Well, I would assume if he wants it, he's got it. You know, because it's Shatner.
But I'm sure, he's in the group. He could get it, so I'm sure he got it. He may not be making a big deal about it because Trump didn't even make a big deal about it, and he got his. Because
he's a ham, though, is the point, and that's the whole trend. He does follow trends. So I'm just curious. That's all.
Who's a ham?
Yeah.
Who's a ham? Trump or Shatner?
Both.
Yeah,
I was waiting for you to say yes.
But no, I mean, but I'm sure he got it. I don't see him fighting it. Quite frankly. I don't see why he would.
I mean, if that's
he's Canadian first off.
Star Trek right now, like I can't.
I'm thinking if that's the only thing standing up between him and getting paid, Shatner got that shot because I think his number one mission is to get paid. Yeah.
Yeah.
But remember, he's Canadian. He's a Canadian Jew. He's not
at Charlie Esser. That's the two E's in the middle.
What he is? None of those things are false.
Yeah, Adam Sandler taught us that. He's a Canadian Jew.
Yeah, I knew that even before Adam Sandler made it popular. Yeah,
what were they doing?
I want to say he's from Montreal
with his beady eyes,
but I could be mistaken. It might have been Toronto.
I don't think he's from Montreal, to be honest.
With his beady eyes and flapping head,
like in real life.
No, but I'm just saying, no matter how conservative he may be, he's Canadian conservative. It's a very different kind of conservative. It's like British conservatives, where they're very
No.
21st?
No. They're all loonies.
I mean, yeah. Well, I'm just saying you can't always judge how Americans are by how people outside of America are. America's
I'm just saying, but Shatner specifically, he spent way too much time in America.
Yeah, but his politics.
And it shows.
Yeah, but his politics, though.
We need the money. Gimme.
Yeah, that's one thing. It's like Shatner isn't the kind of guy to tweet out of turn, generally speaking. He'll say things out of turn. And he'll say stupid...
Don't you know Bleep My Dad Says was actually based on his tweets? That show? Don't you know that?
Yeah.
No, it's a true story. That's how they pitched it.
Oh, well, there you go. So what do I know?
He's kind of let go in his old age. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, well, he is 90.
Hey, you earned it, buddy. Because
he is 90, and he is, he's living his best aging
nerd celebrity life. Yes, he is.
Yeah,
I wonder if an interview can be bought with the price of a dinner.
No. He's kind of pricey, actually.
Oh,
yeah. Even his
cameos are super pricey.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
I'm sure we could. You could.
And with all due respect, I get it, but that's not a birthday present.
if he's unless he's hyping something he's doing, you have to pay him like an actual actor to show up.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm an actor, and you pay me like an actor. I'll do whatever you want, but you have to pay me like an actor.
You do it for scale. I think I can. If you can do it for scale.
Yeah, I don't think Shatner works for scale.
Any high price green ladies want to help me out here?
Yeah, well, who doesn't like painted ladies? That's all I'm saying.
Phil, this has turned into Star Trek Nerd Fest. Can we get this back on the rails for people that aren't Trekkies?
Don't you know where we're at? I didn't have any other news. Anyone have anything else to discuss, or should we get to comics? We could do some in-depth comics because the last couple of weeks we've been doing shows.
Yeah, I got lots of comics.
Abominations of movies.
I'm still hungover from the Snyder.
Oh my god! Review. And again, internet, can you please shut the hell up about the Snyder cut already? He got his shot. Let it go.
Destroy the Snyderverse.
I don't know if anyone has seen Matpat's recent film theory on the Snyderverse.
There is only food theory.
Okay. It's actually pretty cool, where he basically suggests that the Snyderverse is restored. It's just Snyder's not going to be in charge of it anymore. that the bad ending observed was avoided because Flash goes back in time, as we saw in actually the Justice League, but actually that's sort of we see in Batman v Superman. That's right. Flash goes back in time in Batman v Superman, but he only mentions that in the Snyder Cut, not in Justice League. So that basically what we see in the Snyder Cut is actually a story that plays out from after the events of essentially the Justice League universe, where whatever. I mean, I found it a very fascinating theory.
Go check out Matpat. He's fantastic. If you haven't discovered him, what are you even doing on YouTube at this point?
But no, it gave me, and again, it's one of these things where, I think as an academic pursuit, I think the Snyder Cut has value. It's sort of like when my son talks to me about Attack on Titans. Now, I don't think
I'm so sorry.
Hey, he is deep into the lore. He knows
it all. It's a lot.
It's a lot. And he studies it, man. And I love that. I love that quality of my kids, that they do study that lore. In the way that when I was a young man, I studied Marvel lore, and I was reading back then we didn't have internets. We had paper comic books.
The handbook of the Marvel, the official handbook of the Marvel.
You need to leave!
We had Marvel Saga and the official handbook, and we had all these things, and that was my lore, and that was my tomes of important knowledge.
I kept coming back to that page in the handbook with Nightshade.
Yeah, well, it was a nice scene. She was well drawn, and she has a fascinating story. Wolf Cap and all.
Did you see the latest food theory though? About how the Grubhub has its own cinematic universe?
Oh, the Grubhub, based on the Jimmy Neutron universe.
Yeah.
Which I enjoyed, and I found that very fascinating.
I was so sketchy about food theory, I'm not even going to lie. I was just like, come on, Matpat, you're pushing it. But it's my favorite one. I'm not going to lie. It's my favorite one out of the three now.
Yeah. You know what I really want him to do? I want him to do an in-depth analysis about whether or not it actually would be profitable on a larger corporate sense to actually put worms in hamburgers. Because it had always been this thing that they don't put worms in hamburgers because worms actually aren't a cheaper form of meat. But that I was wondering, if you took all global costs, including the cost to the environment of raising beef, if you could offset that to make worms a profitable concept within the food service industry.
You should tell them. Or tweet them.
Yeah, I mean, I've mentioned in the. I don't know how. I should try and tweet. I should do that. I just think that there is such an interesting question there. That is an interesting question about how. Because I mean, we all heard the rumors about they put worm meat in X company's burgers.
That'll help.
And the biggest argument was that always that worms are not actually a cost-effective meat filler.
Anything dog food, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you could go, lower quality beef is actually probably the cheapest thing you could buy.
Breathing, so I assumed you were okay.
But you see, I guess the argument would be that you could get worms past the FDA. That worms would...
As a vegan source, beyond burgers no, technically worms are still animals. Never mind.
Organic. Yeah. Organic.
Yes, but the idea would be that if you offset the carbon cost of beef, would worms actually be
Don't give the elitist bloodsuckers any ideas, Charlie. I don't want to eat worms. I don't want to eat Soylent Green.
Hey, Soylent was just
done. Heel.
I want a mammal. I want a mammal.
I don't want nature's cereal. I don't want any of it.
I'm just saying, the Soylent Corporation gets a bad rap. They were just trying to keep humanity alive in the last days.
I get it, but I don't want
exactly, man. It's basically Soylent Green was just hospice care. It's like planet's dying, we're all dying. We're gonna do our best to just make it as tolerable as we can.
Because it was.
And if you want to die, go to the nice suicide centers. We're going to pay a nice movie. We'll have, a person give you a nice glass of wine as you watch the movie and you take your black pill. And it's like, that's what we're doing. We're trying to help. We're trying to help.
You don't appreciate it at first, but then you're like, oh, I get it. Thank you for that.
Anyway, that's my thing about Swirlet.
Okay, comic books.
Oh, no.
Comic books.
Hey, come on, Lilith. Not everyone's Matpat nerds. Come on.
I know, poor Phil.
I
got a DC book this week.
I'm sorry.
Green Lantern #1, yes.
Because it has Teen Lantern. Although, is she a Teen Lantern? Because they say she's 11 in here. And she insists she's...
They forgot the W.
Well, that's the thing. I think she wants to be called Teen Lantern.
Well, and she was invented by Bendis, so...
But she's actually not really a teen. She's basically... She seems to be DC's...
Is this the answer to a Dinosaur Girl or whatever?
Yeah. She's basically Moon Girl. Kind of draw her a bit like Moon Girl.
Kind of.
Yeah, that's the vibe I got when I saw the cover. But is it any good?
Kind of, because she's smart, because she hacked that Lantern tech. For that
I mean, she's got... Well, it's not Lantern tech. That's the thing.
Well, it is, but it was put together from Lantern tech. But yeah, originally there was... I don't know.
Well, I mean, whatever it is. Because, the what do they call them? The Elders of the Universe, the Elders of Ao say that, no, it's not their tech.
I mean, Lilith, you might...
So we got a Riri Williams on our hands is what we really have.
Well, yeah. Lilith, you might like this because, I mean, Hal calls in towards the beginning, but, the writer is even going...
Is he going to age her up in a creepy way?
Oh. Well, no, Hal just calls in, makes, a phone call. No, I mean, because the writer's even go on record say he don't like Hal Jordan. No, that's, mostly Jon Stewart, Teen Lantern, Simon Baz makes an appearance.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, one thing I really love in this, and this was one of my favorite things at the very end. I don't know how long they've been doing this, but I loved that at the very end, when you have the honor guard for the Green Lanterns, they all have red capes. And I just thought that was a great little shout out to good old Alan Scott, the best Green Lantern.
Well, and this whole United Planets thing, that's a thing Bendis started in Superman, so.
Yeah, so it's all about, and this is,
Wait a minute, Teen Lantern, United Planets, is this you writing under a pen name, Bendis?
I don't know.
I mean, it seems like a lot of Bendis stuff popping up in this book.
Well, they got their money out of them somewhere. They didn't help with the Superman sales, so...
I'm going to say this. They actually did a great thing with the Villain of the Week, where they have to fight it with, the power of... keeping calm and carrying on,
but yeah,
which was an interesting concept.
Charlie told me he picked this book up for two reasons: Teen Lantern, and of course we get Sinestro.
Yes, the Sinestro, and Sinestro just holds them to the fire. It's no, man. I was the greatest Lantern. I served them, but I got to see how awful these guys were, and you almost kind of get the feeling that they From his perspective, the Elders were evil. The Lanterns were evil.
I got to see.
So,
I mean, he's not really wrong.
Nah.
I think they. Yeah. Well, I don't know that they're evil. They're just not explicitly good.
They're just bad at their jobs a lot of
They drag their feet on certain things.
We were talking about this on the Green Lantern podcast. It's they always write the Guardians either inept or just
indifferent,
emotionless. Yeah. So they're either stupid or just bad at their jobs.
It's DC. Everybody's bad at their job, darling.
Well,
they're ancient super beings who need a vacation.
But yeah, I love
really
that.
What they are.
I love that Sinestro. He's some of it's part of them. I know how the sausage is made.
Sausage. Oh no.
Yes. So, but it's good. But I love the Teen Lantern character. I want to see more. I find it weird that she. Well, I mean, that's their ode to Spanglish, is that every so often she just throws in random phrases in Spanish, which I can get. I can get, but it's an interesting quirk, and I get what they're trying to do with that. They're trying to have her communicate in a way that the readers can all understand, but then for authenticity, she'll insult people in Spanish. So, and then you have the whole Gem World people who are mad at the Lanterns or the what are they? They're called the Guardians. The Guardians because I guess they stole magic. They stole half the magic in the universe or something.
Oh, yeah, the Star Heart, which basically is what powers Alan Scott, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord,
Okay.
they're really trying to make... I mean, I'm glad they're trying to make Alan Scott a thing. And
I mean, he wasn't even in the
bringing
issue.
him in.
They just mentioned the Star Heart.
I feel like they're trying to because of Stargirl, hashtag
Well,
synergy.
and two, isn't Alan Scott supposed to be in that Green Lantern series HBO
Is
Max is putting out?
That would be utterly shocking.
I thought they said him, Guy Gardner, who else did they say? Is it Simon Baz? There was a bunch of... Oh, Sinestro is going to be in there, so... Yeah, well, yeah, remember? They said that it was basically a bunch of Lanterns that weren't Hal Jordan, Guy Gardner, or John Stewart, or Cal Rayner, I don't think.
I mean, Kyle's not the best known. They could have thrown him in there.
Yeah, but I'm just mean, yeah, you're going to do a thing without Hal Jordan or John Stewart? Okay.
Well, I just love them using Alan Scott, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need more Alan Scott. That's all I'm saying.
We need more golden era, so.
Yeah, that was... That's why it's called the Golden Age of Comics, because they were figuring stuff out.
Oh, hey, Crime Syndicate #2 came out.
I know.
Oh,
I haven't read it
yeah,
yet.
I didn't even see that. How'd that go?
It's still wacky, but it's great. Lilith, do you realize this version of Superwoman is Donna Troy?
Yeah,
nice.
that's been
good for her.
That's been canon for a while, hasn't it?
No.
No? Why did I think that was? Why did I think that the Evil Earth one was always Donna Troy? So, okay.
But, yeah, I mean, there's that. I mean, they've got a lot in the Owlman. There's, like, his origin is even at the end, because, it's Thomas Wayne, his brother Bruce and his parents were killed that night.
Damn, son, how much man pain can it take?
I know. Oh, and then, yeah, there's a short story at the end. He hunts down the killer of his family, Harvey Dent, or not Harvey Dent, Harvey Bullock.
Oh.
Harvey Bullock. Because they were righteous criminals killed by some mean cop. Is that what it was? Or?
Well, yeah, they were criminals, but they were also killed by another criminal organization run by Boss Gordon.
Boss Gordon. Oh, yeah.
And the cigar all makes sense now, don't it?
So he's like dangling Bullock off a building, and he's like, you don't kill, and then all.
Pray to me!
Well, but no, once he figures that, he says criminals just killing criminals and all this, and he's like, none of it matters. And he just like drops Bullock off the building. He's like, I can kill, nothing matters.
Did you pick up Swamp Thing #2, by the way?
I did
if you didn't, you should have.
Did you read it?
Yes, of course. Swamp Thing. I have to support Swamp Thing. I actually bought it. Shh, don't tell DC.
Whoa.
They already know, Lilith.
No, they don't know anything over there. It's a clusterfuck.
So is that still good?
I enjoy it. I thought that the artwork is definitely a choice. Not the artist that I would have necessarily gone with Swamp Thing. It's not bad. It's just different. A little too body gore for what the story kind of is trying to go for, a more sensitive tone. So it's like that juxtaposition that might not work for a lot of people. But the story's really strong. So, but it's not. It's a new guy. In case you don't know. So,
well, it's a new person.
Oh yeah,
a new swamp thing.
Yeah, Levi Cammy is the guy's name. So yeah.
Okay, so not Fred Salas.
No.
Okay.
Although honestly, in the artwork.
No.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So how did he get to be?
Kind of
just out of curiosity, did they say how he got to be Swamp Thing?
This is our thing. He kind of just wakes up and he's wandering and he's trying to find his path. He's like literally lost in the desert right now. Like literally.
Like the Swamp Thing is lost in the desert.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
But we don't know how he became the Swamp. We just know that this guy woke up one day and he was the Swamp Thing, and
that's kind of like the mystery we're uncovering.
So
we're learning about like all the side characters in his life and stuff like that. So it is a little slow, but I find it interesting because it's a mystery. And that's the way I love Swamp Thing, to be honest.
Very cool. So I got Conan #20.
Ooh, that's a nice cover.
Yes, he's fighting a giant saber-toothed leopard. It's not a saber-toothed leopard when you get inside, but it's a dramatic cover. That's for sure.
Bait and switch. Bait and switch.
Well, he does fight a leopard, see? It's right there. There's the leopard. And there's actually two leopards because, well, the husband leopard is attacking Conan. The lady leopard's going to go kill his little scholar lady. So Conan's like, I guess I got to kill them both now. And so he kills them both. And they go to the nearest village they can find because they figure, oh, you know what, maybe if we can get you on a boat, you can go out there and, sail back to somewhere. But then, of course, the Emperor comes for taxes and the rebels come. And then this is the big thing is, of course, Conan, he's like all cool. Yeah, I'll fight with you guys. What the heck? And I'm hungry and you have wine, so I like to chill. And then the leader is like, well, tell you what, we're going to, let's have a duel for reasons. And of course, it's a big fight. This guy's actually super strong, really fast, and Conan realizes he's about to lose it. He gets he gets punched a few times. He realizes he's kind of outmatched physically, but he figures, well, you know what, I'll just have to outsmart him. Does get behind the guy, does choke him out, but the guy's like, I won't go down without I'm not going to yield unless you yield. And then Conan eventually has to snap the guy's neck, and it was like, oh, and
I will not yield.
Yes, but then the guy, gets back up, fixes his head, and it's like best 2 out of 3. So yay, healing factor mutants. This is Logan's great grandfather. We assume, because we all know them Howlets, they breed true, which is why they're not mutants, by the way. Mutants have different powers every time. The Howlets always do the same thing. They figured it out in medieval, ancient Pangea, and they are not changing their ways. So that's cool. We like mutants. What did you read?
Before we get to Marvel stuff, I do want to shout out Image. And this might be up both your guys' alley. I don't know. It's called The Silver Coin. It's a one-shot. And the art is by Michael Walsh, and the story is by Chip Zdarsky. I love Chip. All he does, especially like the creator-owned stuff that he does, very cool. So, and it's also like a lot of people that collaborated. So you have Kelly Thompson there, you have Ed Brisson and Jeff Lemire, and it's like a horror anthology miniseries. It's rated M. Throw that out there. So it's all about like set in 1978, and we're watching this rock band fall apart on their last world tour. So, and like they're cursed. They're of course their fame was cursed. They sold their souls.
Oh, that's how that
anthology
goes.
Stories.
Oh my.
So I found it.
Didn't
cool.
they see the Devil in Max Devlin? That tells you when you sell your soul for music. Oh no, sorry, that was Oh God Book 3. That was my mistake. Yeah, Oh God Book 3 is when you realize if you sell your soul for music, it will gang on by the end. Although that also is a plot line in the Devil in Max Devlin. So
it's always a plot somewhere. But I thought that as a horror, like a creepy horror anthology, and it's a one shot. It was a good way to spend $4 for me. Especially since it didn't go to Marvel or DC. So just thought I'd throw that out there.
Hey,
very cool.
Hey, Batman's $5.
I know you did, Phil.
But it's oversized. They try to give you everything. I mean, scary.
Oversized? What, like the cover of Batman Damned?
Oh no, but no, just scarecrows.
You just got a sweaty gym sock in there, Phil.
Commissioner Montoya, Harley as part of the Bat family playing crowd.
Boo! You need to leave.
Barber's back as Oracle. Yeah.
Okay, but can't she go to Washington, D.C.? I am on the Kristen hype train for her with this one. Seriously.
Oh, yeah.
We need that girl back in D.C. being our AOC, fill-in.
Barbara Gordon,
let's do that.
Diggity dink.
Senator Batgirl. I like it.
Senator Gordon.
And I guess the updated Matches Malone just goes by Matches now, Lilith.
Boo! Stop changing everything. I'm old. I don't like
Wait, Matches Malone. That's Bruce Wayne's like alter ego.
Yeah, like
It's his street meat
undercover. Yeah. I'm a criminal, sir.
That's why they call me Matches. But I don't smoke because I like to start fires, I guess. My indie book this week, of course, is Vampire the Masquerade Winter's Teeth. It's kind of cool. We get like our little Anarch's tale with the prince and a lot of cool manipulation that feeds throughout it, culminating in like they're going to kill the nurse who is taking care of Cecily Bain's sister because she saw something. But when they go to the basically the culling where they kill before a big Camarilla bigwig comes, they have a big ceremonial culling of anyone that think might be close to uncovering the masquerade, and they bargain for the nurse's life. But then they're like, but of course, as it turns out, there was one other person that isn't in the room, and that's a 10-year-old boy. So you can decide, do we kill the nurse or this 10-year-old boy who we think might have been a hunter, but we realized, because we knew someone in this family was a hunter, and we assumed it was either him or this one, but when we realized the boy was too young, but we're still going to kill him anyway because he saw us kidnap his brother. And then, of course, the prince orders Allie to kill them. She gives proof. She kills proof that she killed it by giving him an ear. But then we find out, the 10-year-old actually was the hunter and kills the old lady vampire, which makes you think that was something that Went knew all along. So that's pretty cool.
That's why you can't trust these kids. I told y'all you can't trust these kids.
Get off my lawn.
You get a cool backup Anarch's tale. Basically, apparently, one of them is like trying to do like weird meth lab cooking thaumaturgy to get vampires either powers or get them high.
What is this book, Charlie?
I am the one.
It's a great book, man. I mean,
it's not. It's just like, are we going to kill the kid? Let's kill the kid.
Vampires
and
cooking
also,
meth.
let's make a meth lab.
Yeah, well, because it's basically it's the story and the backup story. The backup story is the meth lab.
Who wrote this? Vince Gilligan?
Seeley, Howard and Howard. Let's see. Let me see who gets all the credits here. Written by Tim Seeley. Tim Seeley. What do I know that? Yeah.
In your face, Philip.
Yeah. So written by Tim Seeley. So. I guess that answers a question for you guys.
We have to like it, okay.
Hey, it's Tim Seeley, and you are listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
Well, there we go. We should have him on the show sometime.
Again. If he's not sick of us, good Lord, he must be sick of us.
Really, sit him down with Charlie Esser for Vampire the Masquerade. I mean, he hasn't talked that yet. Real.
Well, really, yeah. Maybe we should, man. I mean, goodness.
Hey, you got two Patreons. You could do that.
I wonder if he played the RPG.
Probably.
I mean, I imagine he would have. It seems.
I mean, you could just read the book, not necessarily.
I mean, you could just read the book. You know, I mean,
the guidebook. In case y'all don't know.
Yeah.
For the uninitiated.
Oh, of course, it's sometime of day, so Russell's watching. Hi, Russell.
Good evening, good afternoon, and good morning, Russell.
Okay, do we want to talk any King in Black or Venom?
I'm over it.
Well, this was the last part. Issue 5 was
I
the
know,
last
but I'm over it.
Yeah,
I'm burnt out.
You know, Eddie Brock, he has to go back to his home. He has to go back to his home world now. His people need him. And
Planet of the Meathead.
Yeah, I mean, that's basically... They gave him the Poochie ending, so that's... I mean, honestly, I'm happy for him to have the Poochie ending. It's great.
Well, again, Venom 34 or issue 199, so you know what's coming next month.
Yeah, we get the return of Flash Thompson. So now Flash Thompson will be Venom.
I knew that was...
A Venom we can all get behind.
Hey-o!
I wouldn't want to get behind me neither. Yeah, I knew he was the minute Slot killed him off, I knew he was coming back. It was just a matter of when.
And how?
Well, that's one of the things that, I have to really point out to people, remind them that actually, Sharon Carter was dead for a very long time. And going deep cover in Unscrupulous Place, that was actually her story. So it's like...
And they're using that to play you in Falcon and Winter Soldier. We'll get to that on Super Connectivity. But she has her own satellite. She's not the power broker, but she has her own satellite.
No, she's a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent. That's what she has, her own satellite.
Former S.H.I.E.L.D. agent?
Oh, yeah. Former S.H.I.E.L.D. agent.
Hey. I'll let you boys talk this on Super Connectivity, but I just want to say the best Marvel book was absolutely the Hulk book this week.
Oh, Mortal Hulk.
Oh, yes. Number 45, hands down.
We want to talk Immortal Hulk? Let's talk Immortal Hulk.
No, I'll let you guys talk about Super Connectivity. I just want to give that shout out.
You just wanted to say you liked it.
Yes.
But we'll
it
talk
was great, like, honestly.
Lilith said, here's my thumb, moving on.
Yes. We want to talk about it. Just going to acknowledge that I did read it, and it was good.
And I'm going to watch you boys talk about it on Super Connectivity. Because we're at 50 minutes, so I don't want to, in case Phil has another book he wants to talk about.
No, I got enough eye rolls for Batman. No, I'm good. Anyone else?
He's like, I'll just sit here. Also, Marauders 19 is a thing that exists. If you're looking for fun and pirates, it's still there. I don't know for how long, but it's still there, and it's still kind of fun. It's still the best X book, and that's not saying much, I know. But if you want to get an X book, get that X book.
And there's more coming this summer. I mean, X Corp, what the hell?
Well, I mean, sure,
just
why
leave
not?
the X-Men alone. This is the problem. Leave them alone. Let them rest.
Give them
the Fantastic Four treatment at this point.
How many books can we pump out of this?
Well, I mean, it is a large... Here's the thing. I don't think everything should be called X. But,
exactly. Well, Marauders, they're learning their lesson about that, so everything's going to have an X in it because it's derivative.
So, maybe there should have been the X Marauders, but but I get that, and hey, it's like it's a way to denote yourself as a mutant in this culture.
If you can't stand on your own, you don't deserve a book.
Well, but maybe there's a story that deserves to be heard that has mutants, and they, and honestly, it's just, if we call ourselves X things, people will like it,
Well, no, people will pick it up. Doesn't mean they're going to like it. They're going to also judge it much more harshly. Yeah. That's the thing. X-Men fans are just the worst. We're like Star Wars fans at this point. We're the frickin' worst.
Fair enough.
Stay tuned for the new X Mutants.
I actually loved that book.
New X Mutants?
No, the X Mutants. It was a book. It was an indie book, basically. After the nuclear war, everyone's a mutant, and then this doctor finds a way to return humans to basically less mutated forms. But then all the mutants don't like them, so...
And he became legend!
Yes, it's something like that. Yeah, so that was the X Mutant. But it's a good book. Basically it's, ninja swords and, 80s tech and scantily clad people.
Of course.
Well, of course.
Charlie Ezra's eye.
It was a 90s black and white book, yes. No one.
Oh, yeah, it had a lot of leather and spikes.
Swords and...
It was in that same box with that Nightshade page.
Yeah, but I'm just saying it was the 90s. It was a different time.
It was the 90s.
You children don't know.
He was
back in the 90s.
I had to watch that scrambled pornography.
It's really great, though, seeing the comic book companies kind of bounce back from last year.
Yeah. I mean,
the stories are a lot more interesting. I feel like the heart and the pathos in the books now, it's kind of easy now because last year was rough for everybody, and so it definitely showed in the storytelling and the art. And so I just feel like everybody's finally rebounding and getting back to normal.
Well, I think they're seeing this is their time to take their shots because it's like stuff that's. Well, it's getting better now, but for the longest time now, it's been anything that you can do at home has been selling better than. It's a lot of it in years, so.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. I really think that one of the most fascinating things I'm seeing right now is just how many new labels are launching, how many new independents there are.
Indiegogos.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All that stuff.
Everyone had
everyone
had a year in their little hidey holes to come up with ideas and put the work in.
Yeah.
And
shout out to Will.
Oh, yes. Still waiting for my paper copy of Crossover Division any day now.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good stuff out there, and I kind of feel like it's a new indie insurgent, you know? It's not quite like the old indies, I don't feel, because it seems very less...
They have a bigger chance of being successful as well, especially
exactly.
with the Diamond distribution model being broken down.
It's gone.
From every which way. Diamond has been a cancer on the comic book industry for quite a long time. Everybody's known it.
Yeah. Well, monopolies just aren't good, you know?
Fight me, nerd. Exactly.
That's the thing. Monopolies are bad for business. Because if you have a monopoly, your business is to stay in business as a monopoly. And you know.
Use whatever practices you see fit to stay in monopoly.
Exactly. So, you know, all hail the new distribution methods.
Oh, look at us. And we're pushing back issues, Lilith. Russell got his Eclipso books for the big crossover, all the DC shows in June. Yeah.
Oh my god.
We're keeping you alive, comic industry.
Basically. So yeah.
Alrighty.
I'm excited.
All right, should we get out of here? I hear Lilith liver waking
up.
You know, my wine's gone, so.
I know. So your liver's getting bored, so.
Yeah, she just drank a Monster, so now she has to get more wine to counteract it, you know? So it's like...
the Monster to counteract it.
Yeah, but that's not alcohol.
Just as bad for your liver, but keeps your weight.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's like water for your liver.
You're going to have to go to bed eventually, I assume, Lilith. You know?
She sleeps all day Sunday.
Exactly.
Okay, well, that works. Yeah. So she's going for that Vampire the Masquerade aesthetic, you know?
All right, so as Lilith climbs back into her coffin, send us all your thoughts on the TV, the movies, the comics. Email us, capesandlunatics@gmail.com, or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Find links to all of our various social medias, links to this YouTube channel, links to the Capes and Lunatics Patreon, the Southgate Media Group Patreon, you know, because you need more Rob Southgate.
Give us the money!
You need more Rob Southgate in your life. And merchandise. Bing, bing. So find links to all of that at Linktree, linktr.ee/Capes and Lunatics. And please, please, please support our sponsors. Tweaked Audio. You want to hear...
Charlie rantings and ravings of these lunatics in HD audio quality.
I know, Charlie Esser's childhood. And crystal clear HD quality, so pick yourself some Tweaked Audio headphones. And, like we said, get some more stuff that you can do at home, so go pick up Hunt-A-Killer. Michelle Gray needs your help.
Oh, yeah, that. Okay, yes, Michelle Gray
Escape
needs
room in a
help.
box.
That's right.
Use the coupon code Southgate upon checkout.
That's right. Lilith's mouth is full. Anyway, and yes, and again, go pick up Pod Life, the book put together by Rob Southgate and the podcasters of the Southgate Media Group. Digital and paperback available now. Audiobook coming soon. So,
and that's available at Amazon, where they can get to by going to the link in the show notes. Costs them nothing. Helps the show.
That's right. The show, the network, and that wheeler dealer twice as thrifty as any Ferengi, Rob Master Doom Southgate.
Make it rain, so says Master Doom. Please kick me in the pants.
Mark my words.
Lilith Hellfire.
If you nerds want to hang out with me on the internet, you can find me on Twitter at Lilith Hellfire, on Instagram at Lilith Hellfire86, and for mundane comic book stuff at Lilith Hellfire 69 on TikTok and Instagram.
The hard was implied.
As it should be, sir.
Hey-o, Charlie Esser.
Well, they can always write to me in that old-fashioned email where there are Maz and Paz. One said at superconnectivityblog@gmail.com. That's superconnectivityblog on one word at gmail.com. And likewise, follow me on Twitter as I live tweet things when I feel like it at Charlie Esser. That's CharlieEsser. Look for the two E's in the middle. For what?
For quality. Bing!
Thank you, Maz.
Thank you for listening. Come back next time. But for another week, we have been your Capes.
Ampersand.
Music! two-way. She lost her husband and her cousin.
Oh.
Tough.
Distant cousin.
Not distant enough.
Yeah, well. If you want to be ruled by the Beverly Hillbillies, that's what you get.
Oh my. A cement pond.
They were very rich and very inbred. That's all I'm saying.
Oh.
But still good people. Sometimes.
It's good people on both sides of the pond. Good night.
Hi, I'm one of the High Priests of Khonshu Ray, and I have the sacred privilege of providing you, the loony listener, with a podcast honouring Marvel's very own Moon Knight. So join me and a host of others at Into the Night, a Moon Knight podcast. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram, or support the show by becoming a Patreon member. Into the Night, a Moon Knight podcast. It's time to get your Khonshu on.